A couple of months ago, Epiphone released some images of a guitar that set the internet's butthole on fire. For a week after they released these images, I felt like that was all that was coming up in my feed. And honestly, I'll count myself as one of the many people that was actually really hyped about it. So I asked my audience, you guys, if you wanted to see this guitar here in Belligerent Amateur Studios, and you answered with a resounding yes. And today is finally that day. So, that's familiar. Let's unbox the Adam Jones 1979 Les Paul Custom signature guitar from Epiphone. Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle. What I do is I take all sorts of awesome, high gain related guitar equipment, I record it with a simple setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. This probably looks really threatening with a knife in my hand. So if you're into E-Standard thrashers, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes that desperately need to take a class on knife safety, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on the way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks! Alright guys, so today I am very excited to finally have this guitar in my hands. This is one that we've been waiting a couple of months to unbox and check out here on the channel, so let's just say the anticipation is very high. Real quick, before we get into this and before we start unboxing the guitar though, I have to send a huge shout out to my friends over at Zounds.com. They actually put me on the waiting list the day that I made the video talking about this guitar, and they finally got one in stock and they sent it out to me for me to be able to share with you guys here on the channel. So again, massive shout to them for always supporting the channel and supporting the content that I want to make. If you guys are in the market for any new guitar gear whatsoever, or even if you're not and you just want to help the channel out, go down into the description and the comments of this video and hit that Zounds affiliate link, because even if you click that link and you don't necessarily buy something, if you don't buy anything right away, that still helps the channel, that still helps stuff like this happen, and I greatly appreciate the support from not only Zounds, but from you guys. So yeah, don't forget to hit that link on your way out of here after we're done abusing this guitar. So for once in my life, I'm not gonna talk forever before I start unboxing this thing. I'm just gonna do it. A friend of mine, actually the guitarist in my band Human Animal, Adam, works at a local music shop called World of Music here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and he mentioned to me that they just got a couple of the new Epiphones in. One of them being one of the regular Les Paul Customs, and Adam is a little bit of a gear snob. He's kind of like a Gibson only type dude, and even he was talking about how good these new Epiphones are. He said it was really rad, and he suggested that I come in to check it out. So if he's psyched about it, honestly, the guitars are probably pretty impressive. Now, whether they're impressive enough to warrant those inflated price tags, we'll see about that. And honestly, the first thing, pulling this guitar out of the box, I completely forgot this comes with the classic Gibson chainsaw style case. If I can figure out how to get it out of the box, I legitimately don't know what is keeping this guitar in the box. Is this thing like glued in here? All right, this is unnecessarily difficult. I'm pretty sure I'm sitting on my knife. Yeah, I think going with the chainsaw style case, which is period correct for Adam's 1979 Les Paul, was a really, really solid move. This is actually a really sick case and just kind of adds to the overall experience. Looks to be a really, really well-made case too. It's kind of more of like a flight case shaped like the Gibson chainsaw case. So seems to be really high quality, but it is already the moment of truth. I'm gonna give you guys the first look. Let me get this flipped around before we pop the top. And I'm genuinely really excited about this. So here we go. All right, so we got a string condom on here. We gotta get that off first. Inside of the case, nice velvet. Actually, ooh, really soft. Inside of the compartment, looks like we got a whole bunch of case candy. They gave us the Adam Jones mirror, which I will absolutely not be installing, but cool that they put it in there if you are a Tool nerd. And I should preface this entire video by stating, I am not a Tool fan whatsoever. Not that I dislike them or anything, I've just never really listened to them. If you're expecting this review to be from the scope of somebody who really loves and worships Tool, that is not gonna be me. If you are looking from the perspective of some random idiot on the internet, I'm your guy. So essentially, I'm just gonna be viewing this as if it were any other guitar and not a signature model, and judging it basically on that alone. So keep in mind, this is just an unboxing video too. We're gonna do a full standard demo and review style video on this guitar once I spend some time with it. This is just the unboxing and first impressions. I wanted to share it with you guys. Dude, it looks sick though. It looks really, really sick. I am extremely surprised at how light this thing is. This is actually really, really light. I'm not gonna complain because I used to make fun of people who complained about heavy guitars, but now I'm one of the old people with chronic back problems, so I guess karma's a bitch, right? Yeah, let's get the final piece off of here. We've even got the silver burst on the back of the guitar, and this is like the aged silver burst. It already kind of looks like it has that like copper patina to it. Man, yeah, this thing actually looks even better in person than I thought it was going to. This thing looks absolutely sick. We've got the real mother of pearl inlays on here, which I think is such an important touch because the regular plastic inlays that they put on a lot of the customs just look like poo-poo doo-doo to me. Like, they do not look good. They do not indicate a super high quality guitar, whereas this, we've got the real mother of pearl on here, and it just feels, it looks like a higher quality guitar. And yeah, man, I'm like really, I'm really psyched right now. I waited all day to unbox this thing. I wanted to make a video. It was really, really difficult for me to wait because I really wanted to check it out, but it does look very sick. Let's get the plastic off the pickups. So this actually has one of the more impressive specs of this guitar is it's got a Gibson custom bucker in the neck. You guys actually remember the video that I did where I restored one of my Epiphone Les Paul Custom Silver Burst guitars. Ironically, the pickups that I chose for that were the custom buckers because those are just really, really good sounding PAF style pickups from Gibson. And they have one of those in the neck, so that's a nice touch. Very expensive pickup, so I'm sure that that kind of adds to the overall price of this thing. And in the bridge, I actually find it shocking that they put a Seymour Duncan distortion in the bridge because I know for a long time Gibson was like really, really adamant that when you do a custom guitar with them, you have to use their pickups. So like Tom DeLonge, when he went over to Gibson, he couldn't use the Invader in his signature Gibson model. He had to use a Gibson pickup. So I think that they used the Dirty Fingers in his, but the fact that we've got an Epiphone by Gibson here and we've got a Seymour Duncan pickup in it from the factory, I think that's really, really cool. And yeah, I'm just kind of looking over this thing for any sort of quality control, imperfections, kind of checking the binding and stuff. Honestly, like, this is the best looking binding that I think I've seen on an Epiphone. This actually looks really, really well done. Nothing is standing out to me. There's no goofy edges, even on the corners or anything. Looks really, really good. We've got the binding on the back of the guitar too. Looking at the action on the guitar, looks to be fairly low. Another aspect about this guitar that I think is really cool, they've got period correct style tuners on here. These are the old, they look exactly like the old Gibson branded tuners. They used to come on, I mean, guitars of that era. They just don't have the Gibson branding that goes around the bottom of it, but it looks like they've pretty much recreated these to a T. So again, they really just kind of went all out with getting everything period correct. Guitar looks phenomenal. It's nice and light, feels great. The action seems low. Let's tune this bad boy up. Let's get a couple sound samples out of it and complete my first impressions of the guitar. All right, guys, so we have the guitar currently hooked up into my Neural Quad Cortex, and we are actually gonna be checking this thing out with a couple of the captures from my brand new capture pack of the new Lichtlerm Prometheus amplifier. So if you guys like the sounds that you hear, head on over to the link down below to my Patreon where you can actually purchase the capture pack directly. And that also helps the channel. Thanks! All right, so all I've done to this point is tune the guitar real quick, and I did take an Allen key and just put a little bit of relief into the neck so that we weren't getting all sorts of fret buzz from that neck being backbowed. So now the neck should be in the proper position, and it sounds like this. right, so I already knocked that top string out of tune, but otherwise, the guitar feels and plays pretty good at this point. The neck actually feels really, really nice, and there are no sharp fret ends whatsoever. Like, the fret ends are really, really well done on this guitar. I will say that the low E string does seem to be struggling with the intonation out of the box just a little bit. Everything else seems to be good. The action can probably come down a tad for my own personal preference. But other than that, the guitar sounds good. It actually feels really, really resonant in my hands when I'm playing it. And it feels lively, which if you guys have listened to my previous opinions on some of the Epiphones that I've played, Epiphones can sometimes just feel kind of dead to me. This one does not feel like that. This one actually feels really resonant and alive. And I think part of that is due to how light it is. Like, it's super light. It's kind of crazy how light it is for a Les Paul. So in that sense, it's actually not true to the Norlin era Les Pauls at all, because everybody knows that those things were like 12-pound boat anchors. Yeah, first impressions are good. So let me try to hit this top string, get it back in tune, and we'll check out another profile. Okay, so that was my hard to the core Lichtlerm Prometheus capture. Let's check out a different model from that same pack. Here's Aggro Mids. All right, so very aggressive. Here is Big and Tight. All right, so yeah, that one sounds a lot thicker, definitely sounds more guttural with this particular guitar. All right, so this is my Scoopy Thrash capture. All right, so that sounds nasty. Dude, this guitar is a lot of fun to play. One of the things that sometimes can get in the way with Les Pauls, I've noticed, is if they are very back heavy or they are body heavy, sometimes they can try to rock this way. Because this one is nice and light, just sitting right in my lap, it's not going anywhere. Very comfortable guitar to play. All right, for the final riff, we are using my Killing Mud capture of the Prometheus using the Electric Eye Mud Killer, and it sounds like this. All right, that one actually goes out to Eddie Leeway, who actually passed away earlier today. Was super bummed to hear that. Leeway is one of my favorite bands, so rest in peace to Eddie Leeway. Overall, the guitar feels great. You guys are probably hearing that intonation issue that I'm talking about with that low E string. I can't quite get it totally in tune, but a new set of strings on this thing and a little tweak to the intonation, and that should be taken care of. And I'll make sure to do that before I do my full playthrough video on this thing. Honestly, super, super excited to have this thing here. I am going to play the hell out of this guitar in the coming weeks. You guys may see it on a couple of videos before my actual video review goes live, but it should go live within the next couple of weeks. And again, thank you guys for supporting the channel and making things like this happen. This stuff doesn't happen without the support of you guys. So all of you guys out there who are watching, liking, subscribing, most importantly, hitting those affiliate links so that distributors and companies like Zounds are willing to work with me. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys for making this happen. But that's where I leave it up to you guys. What do you think about this guitar? What do you think about the tones that I was able to get out of this thing? And are you excited for the full demo track, the full demo review of this thing, or do you not care at all? Whatever it is, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll be sure to meet you guys down there to chat about it. And yeah, so hit that like button if you liked the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time.